Hey everybody, it's Chad, nobody else's auto, 7:30 Sunday evening. Time for some more Gearhead interactive live chat. Great crowd on here and ready to go tonight. Mark here, Charles is here, Kevin L, Glenn's back, JP's here, Sean and Christine are back, Kevin Brown's here also. And looks like we are live on Facebook as well. As always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube, as you see me glancing back and forth between the monitors. Before we get too far into anything tonight, so far today we've been pretty lucky. However, we still have extremely high winds. If you've been paying any attention to the weather at all throughout the Midwest has been extremely high winds today. Trucks blown over, power lines blown down. Fortunately, we have not lost power here. But if something goes haywire and we lose everything all at once, that might be what it is. So just wanted to let everybody know what was going on because we still have extremely high winds here right now. I can still hear it howling outside. So please be aware that if something goes haywire, it very well could be the wind. So wanted to throw that out there before we got started here so everybody was aware in case something goes bonkers on us. Hey, there's Pete. So anyway, glad everybody's back. Last week, obviously, I did not make it back in time. 2 swap meets back-to-back last weekend. Pete checked with me late afternoon, and he did throw a notice up on the No Buddies Facebook page that, I was done at Lincoln, but we still had to sort the truck, find a place to stay, eat, and everything, and it just wasn't going to happen. So, hey, Dennis Chapman's here. Dad's here with us. So anyway, so they just, like I said, we just run out of day. Lincoln was huge, way bigger than I expected, and just basically ran out of hours. But we're back tonight, ready to go. Lots of things to talk about from 2 swap meets. I've had a ton of cars and trucks come in. Hope you guys all had a great couple weeks. And with a couple of swap meets back-to-back, that means we've got a lot of super killer stuff that's going to be hitting the auction piles. I grabbed a little bit of it for tonight. We've got a lot of neat stuff coming up that I've been finding. So you need more than a rock in your pocket around here today, JP. You need like a boulder. So anyway, Jeff from Ottawa's here. Ron's back. John Anderson's here. Buick Man made it. So anyway, that's what happened last week. But like I said, Pete did throw that up on the No Buddies page so that everybody was aware on Facebook. If you're not on there, be sure you jump in there, answer the questions, and Andy or Zach will get you into the group. I don't control that page. They take care of that for us. But so sometimes that's where some of the notices get posted as well. Steve Reed's here. But anyhow, all right, before we get going, as always, double check your autocorrect before you hit send. If I can't make out your comment, I will have to skip it. I do try to catch most comments. You can keep the snow, Buick Man. We just got a few flurries today, but that was it. Ray Ryan's with us from Dry Lake Brewing. Please double check your comment before you hit send. If I can't understand it, I have to skip it. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, please remember I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. So I can't see the comments on the Nobody Show Facebook page. If you want to comment, participate in the auctions, you'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page or the Nobody Show YouTube channel. If you want to watch there and hang out, you're perfectly fine. Big Job made it back tonight. So yeah, weather's been all over the place, to say the least. Trolls, we do occasionally get trolls on here. You guys make sure that that they know they're not welcome. I ignore them. You guys take care of making sure they get run off. Super chats are always super awesome, and as usual, we have the supercharged super chat badge warmed up and ready to go for any super chats that may pop up throughout the evening. And of course, ads on YouTube. It is their baby. There isn't a lot we can do about it, but we have to work around them. However, we do have the Hudson badge and the Auburn badge both ready to go for tonight. So anyway, sounds good, Juan. Just give me a shout. If you miss me, leave me a message so I know you're not lately it's been Medicare. Holy cow. 2, 3, 4, 5 calls a day, Medicare spam calls. It's been ridiculous. So, but anyway, lots and lots of things happening. Since I've seen Ryan jumped on with us, Ryan, our good friend from Dry Lake Brewing here in Great Bend, helping us host the gathering. Let's just dive right into that. believe it or not, we are almost sold out. I think I checked with Pete the other day. Hey, there's Kenny Peterson, David D. I think we're at 30 paid. And I've got a few more verbal commitments on top of that. So, and we've been touching on this. If it's something you want to do, let us know, because we're just about full. We're 2 months out. Yeah, Pete does have 30 committed that are paid and locked in. So keep that in mind and let me know. Obviously, we're going to try to accommodate however many we can, but we've kind of set that number at 35, and that's where we're going to try to work around. If it's going to work, guy, let us know, because it's going to fill up the way it's looking. So, because like I said, we've got 30 paid, and we've already got a few more verbal commitments. So please, if you want to lock in, let us know. One thing that is going to be different this year is Flatlanders Pizza is not going to be in town that weekend. Yep, Glenn's ready to go. So Ryan does have food lined out, food trucks for that night. Obviously, Gambino's Pizza is right next door, and Lumpy Sports Bar is right across the parking lot. I know. Both years, a lot of guys have wandered over to Lumpy's, which is great. Ate there last night. Kyle with us on Facebook. I can answer if it's a simple question, Kyle. If you've got a list of specific parts we want to get into, it's better to call me tomorrow. But if you've got a question about whether I may or may not have a car, you can sure throw that up. So Ryan, and we talked about this last night. Ryan's got plenty of octane boost on tap. What did you have lined out for food that weekend as well while we're talking about the gathering? I know we talked about it last night, but I don't remember everything. So obviously, like I said, Lumpy's, Gambino's, but the food trailers are going to be different this year. Sounds good, Mark. I know a lot of you guys are always going to be here in spirit with us. And typically for you guys that weren't around the last couple of years, hey, there's Andy the Rusty Okie. Typically we do Friday night live from the brewery. So any of you guys that can't make it can jump on and hang out with us Friday night live. Instead of an episode on Friday night, we generally jump on live from the brewery. And so all you guys can hang out and at least be part of some of it. Let's see. Lana's Catering and the Spread. So Lana's Catering one night and the Spread the next night. And I believe they both have Facebook pages if you guys want to check them out ahead of time. So and obviously Ryan has been great at the brewery. Dry Lake Brewing, check them out, hit them up, give them a like on Facebook. Our local brewery, and Ryan has been great to let us use their party room and made us feel extremely welcome. And once again, Saturday night, he is going to put together some automotive trivia. So that was a lot of fun last year. That was really cool the way that worked out. And hopefully you guys can score this year. We all kind of got spanked by some of just the regular bar attendees last year. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a great weekend. Mike from Texas is here. And like I said, I can't believe I looked last year, we had like 15 or 16 people committed at that week. So we have twice as many people already pre-committed. Pete came in third. Yeah. Hey, there's Tractor Mike. So anyway, that it's kind of the rundown. It's coming together. It's crazy, but that's how it's all ticking along. I can't believe we're filling up like this. You guys are excited about coming. You're taking the time, the effort to come here and be part of this. It's awesome. Charles is planning on having the coffee trailer out at the yard Saturday morning. It's just going to be cool to see all of us come together and hang out and have a great time. So looking forward to it. And just still baffles me, but we're excited and like I said, everybody comes together to make this thing happen. And that's what's great about it. So if you're planning on coming and you have not paid, please do so sooner rather than later. The important part about getting paid is that gets you on the paid list. Hey, Hubcap made it that Pete has. That way Pete and I keep our lists straight. Ryan has an idea of what to expect. My buddy Mark that does lunch for us, I can let him know what to expect. So all that stuff is super, super important. I do not have it for an 81 to 88, Kyle. I've only got one Grand Prix in that body style, and I do not have buckets and console in it. It is bench. I think, well, no, actually, I think it has buckets, but there's no console in it. I may have the seats for cores. Actually, I do have seats. I know I've got seats because the G-body buckets are the same. I'm just not sure on the console, but I do have seats, Kyle, if you want to give me a shout on that this week. But anyway, okay, so add Tractor Mike to Waycamp's bill, okay? We can do that. That's doable. How about a Hudson badge? But anyway, like I said, we'll keep touching base on this as we go. Sounds good, Kyle. Just lots of... Hey, Nate's here with us. Nate's coming. Nate will be at the gathering as well. But like I said, that's the important part of getting paid, is just to keep all this coordinated. It's not just me. There's a lot of pieces to this deal. And once you're paid and locked in, we've got you on the paid list and on the priority email list. And that way, anything that gets changed, modified, has to be tweaked, anything like that over the next 2 months, we'll make sure that that information gets to you on the priority list. So anyway, thanks to everybody that signed up. It's going to be a great weekend. And like I said, we'll keep working on the details as we go along every week, but it's sure coming together. Okay. Swap meets. Swap meets are always good. I did 2 of them back to back. Hey, there's Frank. Went to the Wichita swap meet and the Lincoln, Nebraska swap meet all in the same weekend. Did see several of you at Wichita, which was awesome. And Daniel's here. Hey, Daniel. Glad you made it back. So anyway, I did set up there. Like I said, the only swap meet I set up at, just for the simple fact that I think the first year Dad got spaces was like 88. Hey, Steven's with us on Facebook. So it's literally, I've literally been setting up there for so many years. I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't. So probably need to at least set up for a couple more years, just so that because it's to make it like a full 40 years. It's that crazy. So anyway, that hey, there's Double W working on sale number 3, should be out tomorrow. So Weston will have a link up for that auction hopefully tomorrow. Neil's here with us. But so Wichita was good. It wasn't as full as it has been. The having it at Century 2. Hey, Scott's with us on Facebook. Has not been nearly as ideal as when it was at the Coliseum. The problem is there just isn't really many other places to have it. And I know the venue is stupid expensive. And then now, on top of the fact that it's so expensive that, that makes spaces and entrance expensive, now the city of Wichita was charging for parking this year as well. So I know a lot of people weren't happy about that. Unfortunately, that is all pretty much completely out of the control of the swap meet. If you want to rent the venue, you got to pay them what they want, and you got to recoup that somehow or another. And then the city charging for parking on top of that can make for a pretty expensive day just to go. Hartman's not near big enough, JP. They did the last year that they were at the Coliseum. They lost part of the buildings that they had used at the Coliseum. And so they were actually busing people to Hartman because they put the overflow at Hartman just so they didn't have to tell all these people you couldn't have a space. And there's no way Hartman would be enough room to do what it would need to do. Yeah, Weston did run Tractor Mike up on that white clock we looked at the other night. So, but like I said, overall it was fun. Hey there, Sean. I didn't sell much. I sold a little bit. I did buy a lot of cool stuff, some of which you guys may see tonight, and several things you guys are going to be seeing over the next several weeks. Hey, there's Tina. Tina stopped by tonight. Glad you made it. Why don't I have one? I don't have time to take care of what I do, Steve. I ain't got time to put together a swap meet. Hey, there's John Sanderson. He was there. Need to put an ATM in there. Kevin ran out of money. But I bought some cool stuff for me. I bought a super cool piece that is going to get its own video. It is so epic. We talked about it a little bit Tuesday night, but I bought one piece that I call it my Big Kahuna piece from Wichita. I'm pretty geeked about it. I'm really super excited about it. I think you guys are going to like it. Kevin L. saw it in person at the swap meet, but it's super excited about that piece. But I did get a lot of stuff that you guys are going to be seeing. In fact, like I said, maybe even some of it tonight, depending on how far we get into auctions. We did have a video from the swap meet. Did anybody catch the swap meet video that we put up that night from Wichita? I don't know if anybody actually saw that video or not, but Pete saw it. So I don't know how many of you guys had the chance to watch the swap meet video. Okay, some of you guys did see it. Did you see the big booth of toys that I kind of like hung out at for like a really long time? Yeah. Now, I believe it or not, I did not spend a lot of money at the toy booth. I could have spent a lot of money at the toy booth. However, I had already committed to my Big Kahuna piece. I hadn't paid for it yet, but I had verbally committed. So I was like, okay, you can't go to the toy booth and buy a whole bunch of crap because it's cool. So I did. Yep, they're on the way, Mark. I did buy a little bit there, and I've got a couple small toys from the toy booth that are in tonight's auction if we get that far. Stapleton Salvage, that's the one in Dodge City, Kyle. Yeah, and Jess bought worm poop. The Wichita video was public, Guile. I put it up public right away. Hey, Wake Up's back tonight. But yeah, Jess bought worm poop. We always knew Jess wasn't quite right. She was showing off a box of worm poop, so that should tell us a little more something about. Maybe we should probably. In fact, we should have like a Rico beer fund at the gathering for putting up with Jess. We may have to do that for Rico. So anyway, but it was a good time. And as always, and like I said, got to see a bunch of you, got to see a lot of other people that literally that's like the only time of the year you see them. So it was fun. I got some cool stuff. You guys are going to get some cool stuff. And I got out of there a little earlier than normal on Saturday because I wanted to get headed north to Lincoln. The Lincoln swap meet video is up for members. It will be public next week. I had not been to the Lincoln swap meet in forever. So I didn't really remember anything about it. It was big. It was huge. It was kind of crazy. Yep, you two won. It was kind of crazy how big it really was. Now, it was a good swap meet, don't get me wrong. But there was a lot of spaces with baked goods and plushies and things like that too. By and large, it was mostly car stuff. Don't get me wrong, but there was quite a bit of other stuff there. But we got there at 7, like right after 7, a couple minutes after 7. We walked the whole thing twice, and we didn't get out of there till after 2. So there was a lot of ground to cover. There was a lot of people there, and it was great. Saw a few people up there as well. Bought pretty well up there too. I was happy. Bought a lot of stuff, and the nice part about it is about everything I bought was small stuff, which is great. So it still was a productive day and had fun. And once again, got some cool stuff that you guys are going to be seeing in some upcoming auctions. And I got a couple things that are probably going to be some raffle pieces that are just, I think, are super killer. So anyhow, it was just, for me, it was crazy. Just a lot going on last weekend to try to cram all that in. Oh, and to top it off, like going to Wichita to set up, I was leaving 2 weeks ago now. My plan was to leave Thursday morning at 7:00 so I could get down there and get unloaded, pull in as soon as I got everything opened up, drop my stuff, pull the truck back out, and then deal with it the rest of the day. And at 7:00 Wednesday night, I didn't have, not only did I not have a tote in the pickup, I didn't have a tote packed. I had about 2 totes half packed, and I had nothing in the pickup at 7:00 Wednesday night. So I had to get everything ready, get loaded up, get headed down. It was just crazy. The whole 5 days or whatever was crazy until I got back, Monday afternoon. But we made it all work. I hit both swap meets, got to talk to a bunch of you guys, got a lot of cool stuff, and that's what it's about. Yeah, I've got it on my list, Pete. One thing we did do at Wichita that will be coming up on Wednesday for members, the rest of you guys will get it the following week. That's about right, Big Job. Oil can books. Yes, we've got another pile of oil can books. I have one extra. These are all spoke for except one. So I do have one extra right now that can go out. I have Mark, Mary, Dennis, and Bill Disk said he wanted one of these as well. I have one extra that can go out with your next order if you don't have one yet. After that, we'll just have to get some more rounded up. Hey, Jim's here. So, but the other fun thing we did while we were at Wichita when we picked up the books from Tom was we finally got Tom nailed down to do a video. So we actually have a video coming up with Tom Allen, the author of the book, about the book. Plus, he pointed out a lot of things in the book that I didn't even realize. So you're not going to want to miss that and Tom's kind of a quiet, soft-spoken guy, and we were at Wichita Swap Meet. So there is a lot of background noise. I did kind of tell Tom to make sure he spoke up. And for the most part, you can pretty much hear it all. But Tom just isn't a real loud guy. But we've got a video done with Tom about the oil can book. So you don't want to miss that. It's exciting. And like I said, I've had the book for like 12 years, and I learned more about it than I knew before. So, yeah, that's right. Kevin talked to him for quite a while. Actually, Kevin got there just as we were finishing the video up. I mean, Kevin literally walked up as we were just wrapping shooting the video. So, and it's 12 or 15 minutes. So, I mean, he actually spent a little time with us. He didn't just say, yeah, I wrote the book. We spent a little time with it, talking about why he did it, some of the stuff in it. And then we actually flipped the book open, and he pointed out several different things in it. So if you don't have one and you want one, I have one extra as of right now. You can always order direct from him, or we can get another batch rounded up if we have several more people that want them. But this batch is here and ready to go, and there's one extra for anybody that still may want one and has not claimed one yet. They are $25 a piece. I haven't heard any complaints out of anybody that has gotten one. So, yep, Steve, they're $25 a piece. And you can, like I said, whoever wants this one, and we can get another batch of them later. He does still have some left. But I've got one of these is not spoken for if somebody wants one, if they want to add it to their next purchase to go out. Auburn badge. The Mark II left last week. You guys remember the Continental Mark II that came in last year? One of 3,000 built, extremely limited production, extremely rare. That car did leave last week, so it is going to be a parts car. But the guy has a beautifully restored Mark II, and he wanted to have it around, which you can't blame him. They made 3,000 of them. It's actually it's only went about an hour away from me. And the crazy part about it is he's got this beautiful car. Okay, Steve wants the last one. Okay, so make sure you just note that on your next payment, Steve. We'll put you down for the last one. And we're out of them again until we get another batch ready to go. So yeah, he was only about an hour away from me, and one of the guys that works for him is one of our regular viewers. He told him about it, and I don't know if you guys know this or not. There was one option available on a Continental Mark II. The only option you could get was air conditioning, and I figured, and I knew that, but I figured, I mean, this is a $10,000 car in '56 and '57. How many of these things were built without air? Even though it was an option, Frank Sinatra had one. I mean, that's the level of people that had these. How many cars did not have air? Well, come to find out, most of them did not have air. And I didn't realize that. His car doesn't have air. This car did have air. Only like 800 of the 3,000 cars had air. Less than a third of the cars built had air. And that was kind of always the thing. This guy had always was excited. Was like, man, if I could add air to this one and make it an air car. And then a guy that works for him says, hey, this guy just found a Mark II. He watches the video. It's an air car, and it's an hour away from him. So that's how crazy that was. So yep. So and the thing about it is that air is all specific to that car. So even like the stuff on the engine is all specific to that car. So it's kind of crazy, but so yep, it's got a new home, and he ended up just like, he just bought the car. He's like, if I ever need anything else, then how can you not have a parts car for something like that is that hard to find? So anyway, it's gone, and it's at its new home as well. One other thing I wanted to touch on that we tried to touch on last week is Toy Tuesday. Obviously, it's been pretty spotty as far as my time and schedule goes. Hey, Tim B's here. I pre-recorded some. We jumped on live the other night, and one guy would not quit calling until he kicked us off. Literally, that was one guy that called and called and called and called until he kicked us off Tuesday night. My phone provider no longer offers call forwarding, which is very frustrating. I used to send this phone to the yard phone when we would go on live, and I can't do that anymore. So basically, and obviously this isn't a decision we're going to make tonight, and if Andy's still with us, maybe we can throw something up on the No Buddies page and get everybody's opinion. There were a few comments on there the other night. Yeah, that doesn't sound good, Guile. But what do you guys think we should do? I mean, we can continue to try to do them as I have time. We can, or and do what we can. I bought a ton of cool stuff last weekend, but or we can kind of try to keep working on that on Tuesday nights. We could possibly back this up to 7 again, like we used to do, and have a few time to add a couple of toys, just like we've been looking at the Tootsies in the last couple of weeks. We could back this up to 7 and have a little time to add a toy or a sign into tonight. Now, the 7 o'clock thing, 7:30 works great for me. I could go back to 7, but just bear in mind that occasionally I may be a couple minutes late. Not, wouldn't be extremely late, but it may be 7:03, 7:05. 90% of the time, 7 would be okay. But there's some nights that the 7:30 saves my butt to be ready on time if it's been a really busy day. So, and like I said, we're just throwing ideas out there. If you guys have ideas, we're all ears. I don't know if you guys want to throw some ideas up on the No Buddies page on Facebook. Sunday's the most important to Jeff. It is pretty long, and that's why we're asking. That's why I'm curious as to what you guys think. We can leave it the way it is, and I can do it when I have time on Tuesdays as well. But I'm just throwing it out there for ideas. And it kind of always has been Big Job. It's just the time to do it sometimes, especially when I get busy. And as crazy as it sounds, typically, and just like the swap meet situation, where 7 o'clock the night before, I didn't have a tote ready. Typically, January and February every year, I'm working in the shop, picking up things in the shop, sorting through piles that have been dumped over the past year. As I was sorting those piles, I was like, oh, that's a good swap meet piece, or that's a good swap meet piece, and I would put it in a tote so that the day before the swap meet, I had my totes ready. I threw them in the truck and was ready to go. Oh, yeah, he won't get any, Jeff. In fact, I think it's blocked. I think he's blocked now. So, and this January and February has been so busy that I didn't do it. So so that's why, Toy Tuesday's been so spotty, is I've just been that busy. It's just been bonkers with part sales, car sales. There's just so much going on that I haven't gotten to it. Like the flash auction, it just happens when it happens. And if that's the kind of way you guys like it, that may be what it is. That just may be how we have to do it. Just surprise on a random day. And that makes it hard for people to schedule because and that's part of the problem with them too, guys, is they don't get any views. So I don't know, they're just, none of them really get a lot of views, maybe a couple hundred. That's about it. And then they just die out. So that's why I'm kind of curious as to what you guys think. Found some Tootsies going to bring down in June. Sweet, Steve. Sounds good. So that's kind of why we're just throwing it out here. And you're right. YouTube does like the consistency, no doubt about it. That's it, Big Job. Live, we'll get 20 to 30 people on. A good night, we'll push 30. And the video, and total, even after we're done, 250 views. If they get 300, it's crazy. Do it once a month. Yeah. That might be a possibility as well. So I'm just looking for ideas. If you want to throw stuff up on the Facebook page, that would be awesome. Whatever you can, to kind of get an idea of what you guys would prefer. But, what it all boils down to is there's just not a lot of people that watch them. Do everything on Sundays. And that's another idea. So, but anyway, curious to see what you guys think. Like I said, this isn't something we're going to make a decision on tonight, but I wanted to bring it up and at least touch base on it so that you guys can be thinking about what you like and how much you like it, to see what direction to go with it. So, and like I said, if you want to throw something up on the Facebook page, if you want to do some sort of a little survey or something, I don't care, because like I always tell you guys, this is more about you than it is me. Yes, I did, Tweety D. Your stuff's on the way. I did get a few of those shipments that were kind of hanging on that. They did go out. It was end of the week, since I didn't get home till Monday afternoon. I didn't get them out right away. But they are on the way. So, Yeah, and that might be what we do. We may just kind of do it what we've been doing. If I get to it, I get to it. But there again, if somebody's got a better idea, I'm all ears. One other thing, speaking of payments, since Tweedly D brought this up, and it wasn't Tweedly D, but hey, man from the farm made it. Guys, don't send anything to the yard. When I got back from the swap meets, there was a check in the mailbox at the yard that had probably been laying there for 4 or 5 days. So please, guys, don't send anything to the yard. The shop address is the one that's in the text, and that mail gets checked all the time. So, Hubcap, love this mystery box. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it. I kind of tried to have a good mix in there of stuff. So, I'm all for that. Big job. You line her up, send her down here, and we're good to go. So anyway, that's just throwing ideas out there just to see what you guys think. So anyway, like I told you, I've had a ton of new inventory come in, and then, we'll get through. Let's go through some of that, and then then you guys let me know what you want to do next. We've got auction stuff, we've got badge, we've got a cap, got a promo. Whoa, hold up, Kevin L coming in with a supercharged super chat, first one of the night from Kevin L. Thanks, Kevin L, hitting us up with a supercharged super chat. Sounds good, hippie. That'll work. Excuse me. But like I said, even though I wasn't here last weekend, I've obviously had a ton of parts come in that we'll be sorting through. And in fact, is that video shot? I shot it. I'll have the parts video. Oh, David D coming in right there. Boom, followed up by a supercharged super chat from David D. Thanks, David D. But I did get all the parts laid out. I actually did the Lincoln stuff when we stopped that night because I had it scattered all over the back of the pickup. So I shot that stuff on the road in the back of Dad's pickup, laid out the Wichita stuff after we got back. Plus, I started looking around the shop. You bet, Buick, man. I started looking around the shop at all this other stuff I've been buying that I hadn't showed you. So we've got a big parts video coming up from the swap meets and all this other stuff. And then, of course, the Lincoln video, the video with Tom. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. I did a 41 Studebaker video. We hadn't looked at that car yet. But what's hit the ground, just since we got together 2 weeks ago, you guys know the 39 Dodge that Nate brought in. We saw that. Then I had 4 trucks come in on one load, 48 KB6, 52 GMC, 54 GMC, and a 53 53 Ford. Those were all farm trucks that I just bought the front halves of. Then I had a 63 Ford F100 custom cab half-ton pickup come in the other day. And then I went and got another car yesterday that actually, it's actually not my car. I'm handling the deal for her. It's a good friend of mine that I went to college with. It was her dad's car. We just pulled it out of a barn yesterday. And it's been in there for probably 20 years. It was a mess. It was covered in dirt. We got it out. We've got it here. I've got to get it cleaned up. I sorted through some of the parts that were loose laying inside of it yesterday. But it's a pretty cool car. 65 Impala convertible. So no motor. The car was done once. Her dad had restored the car once and then pulled the motor for another project. So it is a roller. The transmission is there, but no motor. Factory air car, factory power window car, which is really odd in a convertible. But that's how it was set up. So, no, it was a small block car. It's a base Impala. It's not an SS. So I'm sure it was just a 327 car. It did have air. So, but that's about it. It was automatic air, and then, steering brakes, air, and power windows, for as crazy as that is. So, some of the molding is still left on that Black Galaxy, Steve. Some of it I've already sold. Still puzzled about the Chevy you picked up. Which one was that, Mark? That's true, Tim. We could honor the 301 tonight. You're probably one of the only people that would want to honor the 301. However, we are to the point now where we could kind of start doing engine stuff now. We could have done 283, but we are kind of getting into numbers now where we'll have some engine stuff popping up, though. That's a good idea. I did see some of that, John. I did see some of that stuff you posted. But yeah, this Impala was just a basic small block car, steering brakes, air, and power windows. So, oh yeah, the 51 Chevy. That was kind of wacko, wasn't it? So yeah, if you guys didn't see that, you got to check that out. That was nutso what they were trying to do to that thing. But there's been obviously a lot of stuff popping up. So sounds good, Juan. I'm glad you were able to stop by and hang out tonight. It's great to meet you in Wichita, and hope you enjoyed yourself. Come back next week, and hey, if you want to come up for the gathering, be sure to let us know before we fill up. Yeah, that 51 Chevy, that is weird, but they obviously had a reason for it. So that's right. That is a pretty common number at 302, Tim. That's for sure. So anyway, guys, it's like when I told you things have been busy. Yeah, that's kind of how busy things have been. So it will definitely, like I said, that stuff is definitely still pouring in. But like I said, on top of all the parts, I got a lot of sorting to do, guys. So anyhow. Or 302 GMC. That's right. That's true. That's true, Weston. What direction do we want to go next? Auctions, badge, cap, brochure, promo, can, story time, raffle. We need to talk about the raffle, actually. Let's do that while you guys are thinking about what you want to do next. Obviously, we didn't meet last week, so we didn't talk about it. The original Tucker Topics. This is in its plastic sleeve. I put the push pins through the corners of the plastic sleeves. Somebody is going to get this in this month's raffle. Whoa, John coming in with a supercharged super chat. Boom. There we go. Supercharged super chat from John. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. So who is in after just technically the first week? And I think, was it Ron, our winner on the last drawing? Yes, Ron's entries are in there since he won some in last month's drawing. And then we've got Mark, Austin, Kevin Brown, and Bill Disk are in as of right now on the original Tucker Topics magazine for this month. Crazy cool piece. Not something that pops up very often. So that's I think that's a pretty cool piece. If you like automotive history, you like the story of Tucker stuff doesn't pop up all that often. So I thought that was pretty neat. I hope you guys are excited about it. And I hope we get a lot of entries because those things are not hard to find and they're expensive. So Mark Tulene, because I got yours on the envelope. So yeah. Mark Tulene, Austin McCoy, Kevin Brown, and Bill Disk. Those names are in the can as of right now for the original Tucker Topics. That was a great movie, Tweedledee. That's how this all started a couple weeks ago. So, anyway, I saw somebody voting for an auction. Do we want to do auctions now, or what direction do we want to go, guys? I guess it's typically about this time when we do get into auctions, and then we squeeze in the badge and cap and other stuff as we have time. So what do you guys want to do? Pretty sure we can all have a Hudson badge. There's Austin. That brought Austin out of the woods. All right, if we're ready to do some auction stuff, let me rearrange and get ready to get rolling on some auctions. I got to get over this pile. Hold on. All right. Okay, are we ready? I hope. So I about broke my neck trying to get over here. Sounds good, Travis. All right, auctions. Who's ready? Cool stuff tonight. Some new stuff. I didn't have time to go through all of it, but I did grab a few pieces. Just like always, unless otherwise noted, shipping will be included in the 48 states. If you're a non-U.S. buyer and you want to play along, that is perfectly fine. Just please remember, you will have to get me paid in U.S. funds, as well as you will be responsible for non-U.S. shipping. Hey, there's Steve. Steve's over here now. Whole dollar amount bids only. As always, we'll hold up a piece. We'll talk about that piece. We'll point out any defects. We may talk about that particular car. We may give you some dimensions on it. And after we get done with that, we're going to go ahead and put it on the timer. We're going to go 90 seconds. I'll have my phone right here by the comments. Keep an eye on the comments sections for auctions. And I will tell you when 30 seconds is gone. I will tell you when 60 seconds is gone. And then when my phone says 130, I will announce the high bidder based on the high bid that I see on either one of my screens at that point. Now, I do understand sometimes you guys see different things than what I do. All I can go by is what I'm seeing on my screens. Everybody has a lag, a little bit of downtime. You guys may all want to go ahead and hit refresh before we get rolling here to make sure you are current and up to speed on what you're seeing on your screen. For the first few items, I will try to read all bids as I see them. After that, if I see several bids pop up at once, I may just announce the high bid. But for the first few items, I will tell you guys what I'm seeing as I'm seeing it so you guys can get an idea of what I'm seeing. So, and that's right, Kevin L. If you guys want to round up for Pioneer Village, that's great also. We're still working on that stack. I need to go back through that and tally that up and see where we're at, because I've got to get up there. Got a lot of stuff I need to do up there. I've just got to get up there and get that done. So anyway, that's kind of how we'll do things. We'll start off with a few smaller dollar items to kind of get things rolling for tonight and get everybody used to where we're at. Appreciate that, Glenn. As always, if you've got a question, or if you have a question, not sure what's going on, but you still want to play along, want to bid, go ahead. If you want to throw a number out there, if you're the winning bidder, all you got to do is call me tomorrow. Phone number is in the description part of this video. You can always just give me a shout. We'll figure it out. We'll get it straightened out. No problem. Check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family. Any of those formats work good to get me paid. And like I said, worst case scenario, if you're just still not quite sure, just give me a call. We'll figure it out. So, what do we got? All right. Like I said, we'll start off with a few things that are a little lower dollar so everybody can kind of get in the groove here. Okay. And then we'll kind of work our way through some fun stuff. First thing we're going to do is a badge. Actually, I think this is a hubcap or a wheel center. Came from the Wichita Swap Meet. It is fresh meat. Brand new. Just hit the inventory. You know, at first I thought, well, this isn't that old. You guys won't care, but this is probably 80s. So it's probably pushing 40 years old, as crazy as that sounds. But there again, horn button, guys. It's a nice size, about a horn button, but I think it's a center cap for like a wheel or a hubcap. But it's a cool looking piece for our caddy friends. Like I said, I think this is late 80s, but check it out. It looks great. It's got a little bit of discoloration down here on the big Cadillac crest. This is a plastic insert in a stainless housing, but a great looking badge piece. It is about 3 3/4 across. So sharp piece. And like I said, I almost thought, oh, this ain't that old. Then I realized it's actually probably almost 40 years old. Kevin starting us off at 15. Let's go ahead and roll with the Cadillac badge. 20 with John. Yeah, I didn't realize you were there either, Austin, but man, there was a ton of people there. Hey, Billy Bowman stopping by tonight. $30 seconds gone. John at 20. You got there, yeah, just right before I did then. But for as many people as were there, it doesn't surprise me. Could be, Kyle. We're at the 1 minute mark. 30 seconds left to go. We'll see where those shots start coming from. Just about ready to wrap it up. 22 with Kevin Brown. We got a few seconds left. 22 with Kevin Brown. 25 with Kevin L. And that does it. Kevin L at 25. John had a 26, but it was too late. All right. That was a fun start. Let's catch a couple plates. These are used, but it's kind of cool because they're they're in numerical order. That's right. Kevin L wins the battle of the Kevins. 1958. They're good looking plates. They're good color. A bright blue with a yellow background. Pawnee County truck plate. 620. Now, what's cool about this? Not only do you get 620, you also get 621. What do you think of that? How's that for kind of a cool set of plates? Pawnee County truck, 620 and 621, 1958. These things have been together for 68 years. These plates have literally been together for 68 years. One after the other. 25 with Christine. So I thought that was pretty cool. You're going to get both of them. We're going to keep them together. We're not going to split them up after 68 years. They're going to go into one of your guys' collections and hang there on your wall and stay together. Christine at 25. Let's go ahead and get this one on the timer. I thought it was pretty cool when I pulled them out of the box. It's like, holy cow, these things are still together after 68 years. We're going to keep them that way. So Christine at 25. That's only $12.50 a piece. That's a steal. What else do we got to do here? Yeah, that's why I was like, there's no way we can split these things up. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. One minute gone, 30 seconds left. Christine at 25. $30 was Steve. $32 with Christine. We're getting close to the end. $32 with Christine. $33 with Weston. And that does it. Weston snuck in there with a $33 and got it done. Steve had a $35 in there, but it was too late. Weston at $33. That's right, going back to Pawnee County. How about a cap? Let's catch a cap. And I got some toys laying out here. This one for our Mopar fans. I think this is about this is like 4950 era. The simplicity of this is almost what kind of makes it cool. Like I said, I think this is 4950. So I know it's not 48, and I know it's not like 5152. So I'm narrowing it down to that era. And Plymouth didn't really get extremely creative with their caps that year. It just says Plymouth right across it in block letters, painted them red, and they put Plymouth on it. No cool ships, no other cool designs. Plymouth. Pretty basic, pretty simple. Now, because of that, it did leave a lot of nice, shiny material here. This cap does have some typical dings and dents in it. This outside band is embossed and stamped in. The letters are actually stamped, and then they were painted red. But really, like I said, the simplicity of it is almost what makes it kind of neat. On the back, it is a steel base with this chrome cap crimped over the edge. It is right at 10 inches in diameter on the Plymouth cap. About as basic and simple as it gets. So anyway, I think that 35 was hung up, wasn't it, Steve? Because that's what you had hit on the last one, and it popped up just as I was grabbing this. So, Steve, tell me if that 35 is old, because I think it was. I think this is 49 or 50 is what my guess is, Guile. So let me have Steve clarify that I think that was an old bid so we know where we're at so we can get started. John at 10. If Steve's still on, if we know if that's an old bid or not, so we know where if John's our first bid or if Steve had a 30 was 35 on this. Okay. Well, I got John on the cap. So Steve, if that's on the cap, go ahead and throw it back up there. We're going to start with John's 10 and roll with it. We're live and on the timer. Hey, Mary's here. Simple, like the Roadrunner. Yep, that's right. John at 10. $30 seconds gone. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. John at 10 is all we got. Okay, that's what I thought, Steve. I thought that was an old one. Thanks for clarifying. Just past the 1 minute mark. John at 10. 12 with Kevin Brown. 13 with John. Ticking away, wrapping this one up. John at 13. Kevin at 24 as we hit 130. Mark at 15. Kevin's John at 25. I had Kevin. It literally was going from 129 to 130 when Kevin's 24 popped up. Holy cow. There's no way you could have cut that any closer, but it worked. Kevin Brown at 24. Oh, hey, Mary, since you weren't here earlier, got the books. So your next package will have your book in it, Mary. Okay. Wichita Toy Booth toys. I told you I had a couple toys from the toy booth. Are we guys ready for those? These aren't anything real fancy or super cool, but they're awesome. There's two of them. We're going to do them individually. This first one is a Metal Masters. It is very similar to a Tootsie toy. This is probably late 30s. And the paint's chipped and scratched, but it's not busted up. It says Metal Masters right on the bottom of it. On this super cool Art Deco style truck. Thing almost looks like it's chopped, just the way it's sitting. Check out that big nose on it. Kind of got like a Diamond T style cab, but a huge grill. Big old swoopy, full-length Art Deco fenders. It's not chipped. It's not broken. John at 20. But it's a pretty cool piece. It is 6 and 5, right about 6 and 5/8 in overall length. Kind of well detailed. If you look around here, this is all cast into the piece. The radiator cap's cast in. These body lines are all cast in. Yeah, the fenders are amazing the way they swoop down all the way back to the bed. The bed actually, this is kind of cool. These are actually angled out. I mean, there was a lot of thought put into this design. Even the bed, you can see the fender wells where the hump is for the axle. I mean, it's... like I said, it's one you might want to paint, but it's, and it would be really cool if you did the curve on the cab or just leave it the way it is and show its battle scars. Because like I said, I'm guessing the way it looks, it's probably late 30s. So when you figure the thing is probably 85 or 90 years old, it's not too bad. So anyway, we've got a lot of bids on it. Where are we at? Who's our high bidder at this point? Yeah, that's right. I think a car guy did design this one. It looks like we've got Glenn at 24. And we are live and on the timer and ready to boogie. Yeah, gently used. That's right. But super cool. Give you a good look at the bottom side of it. 30 seconds is gone. And nothing's happening. Just about to 1 minute. Everybody's sitting there ready to shoot at the end. It's probably going to be interesting. 1 minute is now gone. We've got 30 seconds left to go, and I'm going to be curious to see what happens on this one because it's cool. Glenn's sitting there at 24, probably a little uneasy at this point. But nothing else is happening. The timer's still ticking away. We're still going. Tick tock, tick tock. We're getting close to the end. Glenn at 24. 27 with Guile. 30 with Big Job, and that does it. Big Job with 30 there again. Dead on at the 130 mark. Big Job at 30. And it's cool. The more I was looking at it, the more I liked it. Okay. One more from the big toy booth. This thing is gorgeous, but it's a little bit rougher. This thing, it's been painted, and it's had a little bit of repair work done. I guess I'm going to sell it. I bought one toy to keep, so I have to sell this one. This is also Metal Masters. This thing is amazing. I hope you guys are ready for this because this thing is so cool. This is drop dead, knockout, gorgeous, 30s Art Deco, luxury movie star toy. The design of this car, man, this thing is cool. I should be keeping it, but I already told you I'm going to sell it. It has been painted. It has had some repair work done. But, man, this thing is a knockout. Once again, Metal Masters. Glenn at 15. He hasn't even seen it yet. All right, here we go. Once I show it to you, I can't back out. So, there, you saw it, right? All right, here we go. Look at this. Now, like I said, this has been painted and it has some damage, so I'm going to point that out. It's got a couple small holes right here in the front fender, and I think this axle was broke. It's been repaired right here on these axle struts. So it's not mint condition and it has been painted. But look at the design of this thing. Look at this thing from the top. The fenders, the grill, the body lines, the hearts is like a river of hearts, which I don't blame you a bit. Almost a boat tail design, but not a true boat tail. It does square off at the back. The fenders are swoopy. The grill is swoopy. I mean, this is literally like exactly the epitome of Art Deco. That's exactly right. It is a knockout. I can't imagine what this thing looked like when it was brand new. It is right at 7 inches, so it's a little longer than the truck. So it's not perfect condition, but man, it is beautiful. I love it. We've got Glenn at 22 as we hit the timer. All right, we're ticking away. We're live. We're going. Somebody else gets this. $27 with Guile. 30 seconds gone. And there could definitely be some snipers on this one, too. This thing is beautiful. I might snipe it. They only produce toys in 38. Wow, that's sweet. 30 with Glenn. Yeah, that's exactly right, Glenn. All right. 35 with David D. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Yeah, there is some overspray on the wheels. You are right, John. 35 with David D. We're coming down to the wire. We're ticking away. What's going to happen on this thing? Because this thing is so cool. Few seconds left. I've got David D at 35. 37 with Guile the Car Guy. Couple seconds left to go. And that does it. Guile the Car Guy at 37. It's a beauty. Oh. Hey, Wiley's back. I've missed a few auctions. Should have looked that up before we sold it, Pete. All right. What's next? How about this? Go. 60 seconds flash auction on this. We're live. Anybody going? You're getting this, whatever this is. 10 with Guile the Car Guy. 25 with Sean. 25 with Austin. 30 with Austin. Coming up on the 30-second mark. Austin at 30. $30 seconds gone. 30 seconds left to go. Austin at 30 on this. Whatever this license plate is what you're going to get. Right here in this envelope, brand new. We're going to take it out and look at it, maybe, if the new bidder wants us to, or the winning bidder. We're coming down to the wire. I've got Austin at 30. We're running out of time. Anybody else going to jump in there? 33 with Sean. Couple seconds left to go. And that will 35 with David D, and that does it. Holy cow. Barely got it in. David D at 35, coming in right at the end. Barely made it in, but he got it done. All right, David D, are we opening it, or are you going to wait till you get to see it yourself? Open. Okay. Are we ready? It's stuck. It's like it don't want to come out. Here we go. Ready? Sir Steve's 25. That was really late. 64 trailer. First time out of the envelope in what, 62 years? Look at that. Beautiful. All right, now I can write it up. It is a great blue. It is a great blue. So the poem on the envelope. Yep. All right, let's tuck this one back away for David D. Put it right back in its home to head to your collection. I told you guys we'd do a promo. You guys want to do a promo? So, and the promo's going to have a minimum on it. So, but I told you guys last time we do a promo, so we'll do the promo at the auction at the same time. Okay. For our Ford fans, this is a beauty. I've got it. I had an extra, so we're going to auction a promo, but like I said, we'll see what it brings. Because there would be a minimum on this. No box, but it is the 1962 Ford, and it looks like Corinthian white. It's kind of an off-white, almost a beige. But the cool part about it, it's a Country Squire. Look at this. Sean, 45. It's a beauty. The fender ornaments are here. It does have one broken wheel. The wheels are all here, but this one is broken on the back side. This being a Ford does have all of the information on the chassis that they were using as a selling point, if you guys can see that. It does have all the original hubcaps and tires, just that one is wonky. The rear bumper is intact. The hearts are flowing like crazy. But yeah, it's a beautiful piece. The bumper corners aren't chipped off or broke off. Like I said, I've got it. Dad's got it. This is an extra. So we're going to sell this one. We got Kevin L at 50, so we're getting close to where it needs to be. Another bid or two. We're probably going to let this one go. But the 1962 Ford Country Squire. I don't know if this one come out of, I've got another one of these W. Weston, so I don't know if this come out of yours or not. I don't remember. Unless you remember if it had a broken wheel or not. So anyway, I've got Kevin at 50. We're just about where this needs to be. And we'll see if we get any other bids on it before we're going to kick this thing off and roll with it. Because it's very pretty. I polished it up just a little bit. You can see the shine on this thing. But what do you guys think? Where's our promo buyers at? Is that it? Kevin L at 50? 60? All right, that's what I was thinking. We needed to be right around 60. Let's roll with it. We're going to sell it. Big Job 56. We've got some interest in it. Kevin at 60. That's about what I figured it had to be about at a minimum. Because it looks amazing. So we're going to sell it. We're going to let her fly. I did get another promo. I got some more promos at the swap meets last weekend. I may have another duplicate we can sell here in a couple weeks too. So, but this one I knew was a duplicate, so it's on the block. I've got Kevin L at 60. There's the 30-second mark. $62 with Guile. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Frank has a 62 T-Bird. They got it when it was new. Yes, they're the same color. And Dad's is the same color. So I don't know if they only made the wagon in this color or what, but $65 with Kevin L. $68 with Christine. We're coming down to the end. We're getting close to the end. Christine at $68. Couple seconds left. $70 with Big Job, and that does it. Kevin L at a $72. That was about a second too late. Big Job at $70 on the promo. That's super cool. Kevin was in there swinging and missed it by like that much. Put that down there with Big Job's truck. 99 starting on eBay. Yep, that doesn't surprise me. All right. Well, that was fun. That was cool. How about, I got this cap at Wichita that's cool. This is kind of a neat piece. It's really straight considering its age and what it is. Let's go ahead and do this cap. What do you guys want to do tonight? You want more horn buttons, license plates, cans, toys? We got it all. Or do we want to move on? We can also move on. But this cap, it cleaned up pretty neat. It has just a super cool look to it. We got any binder fans out there? Check this thing out. Plates and toys, okay? Look at this thing. This is all stamped. This is 30s or 40s probably. It was chrome, which is pretty much fallen off. But these things typically got clobbered. A 62 plate. I don't know if I got a 62 plate in here or not. This does have a few dings and dents down here. But these were on big trucks. They got pounded, obliterated. But the triple diamond on this thing is so clean. The back is solid. It's not beat up or twisted up. I just thought it had a super cool look to it. Size-wise, it's about 5 3/4 across the face on this international cap. Christine at 25. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer. Hey, Dexter, the Wolverine Garage is here. It is cool, Mary. The triple diamond is just so crisp on it. Considering this thing is probably minimum, I bet it's late 40s at the newest, so it's pushing 80 years old. No, I actually don't have any plate toppers, Mark. $30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. 25 with Christine. But this thing is so cool, I bet that isn't going to hold. One minute gone. Christine at 25. Wolverine at 26. Dougster's coming in at 26. Nothing happening. What's going to happen? I bet there's a sniper out there on this one. We're ticking away. We're coming down to the end. I've got 26 with Dougster. Getting close to the end. 34 with Kevin Brown. 29 with Christine. Not enough to get it done, and that it does it. Wolverine was just a hair too late. Kevin at 34 got it done at the 130 mark. Man, that's just I thought that was just a really cool piece. Glad you enjoyed it, Mary. Oh, let's see. What do we want to do next? We haven't done anything from a different state yet tonight. Perfect, Dougster. Let's go back. Holy cow. Let's go up north and go back 98 years. 98. This thing's almost 100 years old. Holy cow. This thing is crazy for being 98 years old. Wisconsin, 1928. And I think this is original paint. I look at the back of this and look at the front, and I don't see any signs of this being repainted. This thing's 98 years old. And I'm sure it's original paint. It's kind of an odd size. 14, about 14 and 3/8. And about 4 3/4. But I think that is literally an all original 98-year-old plate from the Rust Belt. So, wow, let's go ahead and get this thing rolling on the timer. That's crazy. All right, but no bidders yet. Wow, that's kind of nuts. I don't know where this one came from. 10 with Dougster. 1P with the car guy. Yeah, it was definitely garage cap. Just past the 30-second mark. 10 with Dougster. Can't believe that thing's original. 20 with Squires. Nick's in there at 20. 21 with Dougster. One minute gone. 22 with David D. 30 seconds left. 22 with David D. 32 with Dougster. Taking away coming out of the end. I've got Dougster at 32. 33 with Tweedly D. 33 with Big Job. And that does it. 33 with Big Job. 34 with Dougster at 132. Big Job is hitting these between 128 and 130. 33 with Big Job. All right. I'm sure it did, Guile. I'm sure that thing was on a garage wall forever to retain that condition. I got another horn button laner. It's kind of a common one, so it's not a super high dollar one, but it's pretty cool and it looks good. From the 60s era Chevy trucks, just the basic pop metal one from the mid 60s. This one has a great shine. It's not all pitted up. It appears to be original paint. A few dings and scuffs in it. Still has the rubber ring on the back. These are just a nice, attractive piece because of the amount of chrome. They're dished. Just kind of a sharp looking little piece. They're not super rare, but it's a sharp looking button. These are 2 3/4 in diameter. Hey, there's Leo stopping by. 15 with Kevin L on the Chevy truck horn button. Yep, it would, Wiley. Just past the 30-second mark. Coming up on 1 minute. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Hey, Jeff from Ottawa. Coming on about ready to wrap this one up. Kevin at 15. And we're going to add that to Kevin's box. All right. Like I said, these aren't rare, but they're pretty cute little buttons. So throw that in Kevin Al's box. And what else do we want to do? Want to squeeze a couple more things in, or we want to catch some other stuff yet tonight? Toys? Okay. I'll tell you what I've got. I've actually got 2 toys here. Tweedly D was first on the last auction. I don't. Could have been, but I had Big Job at 35 at the end, or 33. Oh, you said he was first at. Okay, we got to try to sort that out. I don't. Yeah, because sometimes that gets mixed up on my feed. So we have not done story time. No, we can definitely do that. Yeah, because the feed gets mixed up. Yeah, so that does happen sometimes, and occasionally something may get missed. But and that just it. Obviously, we can't control the system, and sometimes stuff gets shuffled a hair based on what is popping up in front of me. That's why I always encourage you guys to go ahead and throw your bid out there and give it plenty of time to hit. So I do not have anything like that, Dougster. Because sometimes especially when they're feeding in there right at the last second, that definitely kind of monkeys things up a little bit. So anyway, I apologize if there was a mix up, but sometimes that does happen when stuff's popping up and it's, the way it's feeding. So everyone be on all messages, not top messages. Okay. Let's have a Hudson badge. Christine wants some more toys. So why don't we do this real quick and then we'll get into story time. You guys want to see one of my new Tootsies? Old GMC caps, not right now. I do not. I'll see if I can find some GMC caps. We haven't done it in a while. So let's grab another Tootsie out of my Tootsie. Then I'm going to sell you my old one. How's that sound? From the Tootsie Playtime box. I've always loved this Tootsie. I can't believe that I have one this good. I think this one, you guys have seen it before. We've shown them before. We've talked about it before. I think we even sold one time. But the Tootsie Greyhound bus. Look at this thing. I've always liked this because all this, the dog, the Greyhound, this is all cast into the bus itself. It's pretty amazing, John. I've got 4 sets of these guys. You've only seen 1.5 of the 4 sets I've got in the box. This thing is pristine. So there again, I've been starting to sort through some of this stuff, mainly because of what I had to pay for these. Like I said, I've got 4 sets of these in the box. 4 different Tootsie sets in the box. I've got to sell you guys my other stuff because of what I had to pay for these. Yes, they are pop metal. I have 2 buses available. Okay? They are both in, other than scratches, pretty decent. One of them, this one has, for some reason, a little split right here. So, other than this little split, these are both in good shape, other than they've been played with and the paint is rougher. I'm going to give these are going to be choice. You can take one or both. If the first bidder just wants one, then we'll sell the other one. Now, you're going to get choice. You can take one or you can take 2 at 2 times the bid. If the first buyer just wants one, then we will sell the other one after that. So, what do you guys think? Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. It's just got just a little, I don't know if it was just a thin spot there or what, but that's really the only actual physical damage I can see on either one. They're not chipped or busted up or anything like that. So, Sean's starting us at 40, and that is choice. If you took both buses at 40, if 40 were the final bid and you took both buses, it would be 80. So, it is 2 times the money if that person wants both. If not, we'll sell the other one. Let's get this thing on the timer. Like I said, these both have all the wheels are on both of them. These are lengthwise. Could have been, JP. Right at 6 inches. And they're about 1 inch and 5/8 wide. 50s era. And they're just, like I said, the detail in these things. Now I think they're kind of a plastic. They don't feel wooden. 41 with Dougster, just past the 30-second mark. $41 with Dougster. No, these, well, the wheels might be, but they could be, but I think they're kind of soft. They got some sort of rubber to them on the wheels. 41 with Dougster. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. What's going to happen? 1 or 2? Are we going to sell the other one? Let's find out here shortly. We're ticking away. We're coming up on the end. I've got Dougster at 41. He may take them both for that. I don't know. About ready to wrap it up. 44 with Sean. 45 with Dougster, and that gets it done. 45 with Dougster. Christine came in swinging, but it was too late. Dougster has first choice at 45. The non-cracked one. Okay. So the one that has the little split, we're going to sell next. I'm going to mark this. So make sure I don't get them mixed up. Okay. Hey, Michael Gagola jumped on with us. Okay. Just to make sure I keep them straight, got Dougster's name on that one. Now we're going to do the one that just has the little split in it right here. All right. John's starting us at 10, and here we go. We're live and on the timer. 24 with Christine. $30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Yep, she's got the second chance. We'll see what happens. Because these things are still pretty cool. One minute gone. Just under 30 seconds left to go. Might be a sniper out there. What's going to happen? Coming down to the end. Coming down to that 130 mark. 25 with Mark. And that does it. 25 with Mark. Sean at a 27. It was too late. Mark at 25. All right. Okay. All right. You guys want to still catch story time yet tonight? And then by then, we'll probably be getting close to where we're getting ready to be done. So anyway, let's go ahead and get that squeezed in here and see where we end up, and then we can go from there. Let me move the piles. Grab the scrapbook. Got the file here. And let's get moving around here. Bear with me just a second, guys. Okay. I think we looked at these pictures at one point. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we looked at this cutlass. Seemed like we did, but let me... These little scrapbooks just don't hold up. That's right, Mark. I would have to go through the list, Guile. I know that last check I got, you had stuff. You had already bought more stuff by the time you sent that last check. So I don't remember exactly where we're at without going back through the auction pad and checking it all out. Okay. Tonight for story time. This was sold May of 1982 on this 1963 Olds Cutlass convertible. There goes the hearts. So let's learn a little bit more about this little Cutlass. Pretty full work order on this one. Let's see. Mount and balance 4 tires. Install A-frame bushings, front brake shoes, lower ball joints, spring spacers, tranny work, repair lights, R&R rear end assembly, install rear brake shoes, paint engine, R&R drive shaft, replace U-joints, charge AC, lube oil filter, install, now here's something from the early 80s, install FM converter and speaker, install hubcaps, tune-up engine, repair AC wiring, repair driver window, fuel pump detail, and battery. Okay. So let's see if we can find anything about when Dad bought this. We've got a ton of tickets here. Let me see if I've got anything about when he bought it. Okay. Here we go. Bought this from Gene Cole Auto Mart here in Great Bend, Kansas. I have never even heard of Gene Cole Auto Mart. 2400 10th Street. That is a name that I don't recall at all. 2400 10th. $83,000 miles. It's not dated though. Let me see if I can get some light on this ticket. This ticket it's weird. Here's the ticket, and it's got writing on it, but it's like faded out or something from over all these years. Put my trusty flashlight on it, see if we can make anything out here. And it helps. He paid $700 for it. There's some notes on here, but I just can't quite make them out. It was a used car dealership. Okay, here it. Oh, I do need a good night's sleep. Dad said it had transmissions problems, is how he bought it. Somebody had already painted it, and then did the interior, and they couldn't find anybody to fix it. So that's how he bought it. But there is some notes over here that's probably has something to do with the transmission, is what I'm guessing. These notes probably were saying he was buying it, as is with the transmission issues. So, bought it for $700, 83,000 miles. It had been painted and already did the interior. Let's go through the rest of these tickets and see what we got here. U-joint kit, $10.53. Seal, and brake shoes. It's probably wheel seals and brake shoes for $17.83. Two cans of paint to detail the engine compartment for $2.51. Okay, here's a different ticket. Midwest Transmission Service ordered 2 springs for $1 a piece. So that must have been what was wrong with the transmission. A-frame bushing, $6.73. Raybestos front brake shoes, $7.94. And it looks like they had a $4 core charge on them. So Dad said we drove it for a while. I kind of vaguely remember it. And he said we sold it to put the sprinkler system in. Yep, I do remember core charges on brake shoes. They quit doing that shortly after I bought my first parts store. When I bought my first parts store in 2001, they were still doing cores on brake shoes, but it wasn't long after that, so that's 20 years ago now that they quit charging cores on brake shoes. So, yeah, that was core charge on brake shoes was a real thing. Okay, Dad said it was a funky transmission that was a 61 to 63 deal only, and that's why nobody knew what to do with it. So, but anyway, obviously Dad did some work to it, got the transmission fixed, and then did the brakes and this other stuff. And looks like when it was all said and done, he had about $1,132 in it, hard money, and sold it May of 82. I don't think there was a date on when he actually bought it. There's a ticket for working on the trans from April of 80. So it was around for probably a year or so. And sold it, which, I'm in 82. This was probably pretty good money for $3,300. So that was a pretty good deal. There again, a lot of time and work, but it pays off. Yeah, but there, that was a 19-year-old car in '82. Of course, it was a pretty sharp car. I mean, you can look at the pictures and tell it was a pretty good-looking car. So, yep, I wasn't much older than that. No, it's. I mean, in today's world, it's nothing. You can't buy a project car for that. But there again, that was pretty decent money back then. And there again, he had $1,132 in it, time buying the car, and then the parts and stuff. So obviously a lot of hours, but it paid off. Just a lot of time and a lot of work. Yeah, I don't remember core charge on pads ever, Kevin. That's something new on me. But whoa! Thanks, David D. I appreciate that. One more supercharged super chat coming in from David D. It has been a little bit of a quiet night, but thanks for waking it up a bit, David. Appreciate that. With another supercharged super chat for the evening. All right. Sounds good, Dougster. Appreciate it. Glad you were here. So, we'll put that one back away in the file. That was a sharp car. I'm glad you guys are still enjoying doing these. JP loves story time. I had a ton of great feedback on story time, no doubt about it. They take a little more time to get ready, but they're worth it, and everybody has a lot of fun with it, and that's what's important. Glad you enjoyed it, Kevin. That's true, Big Job. We need to find her and bring her down. So, I tell you what. Hold up. Something just happened over here. I'm not sure what happened. Michael Gagola supercharged us on Facebook. I've never seen that before, but we're going to give it. And Guile hit us up over here. Boom. There we go. Double whammy. We got to figure this Facebook thing out, though. Guy the Car Guy hitting us up on YouTube. And Michael Gagola hit us. Whoa. And there's Christine. Thanks, Christine. Appreciate it. Too bad you guys can't come, but I understand, when you got some stuff to deal with the doctor, I understand that. But super appreciate that. Kevin L coming in. Holy cow, things are just going crazy. It's going nutso. So anyhow, super appreciate that. This Facebook thing, I knew you could do some of that on Facebook, but I had no idea what it entailed. But Michael Gagola hit us up with one on Facebook, so we got to look into that. There you go, Hubcap. So we got to figure this Facebook deal out, but huge thanks to all you guys for hitting us up with the super chats. And now with whatever we can do with something with the stars. So we got a new mystery to figure out thanks to Michael. Appreciate that, Michael. We'll have to look into that. In fact, I need to write that down. Figure out how that works because we've never had one on Facebook. We'll figure it out. So thanks, guys. I super appreciate all of that. A bunch of them rolling in here right at the end. All right. Let's catch the cans since we got all the can books. And then because I think it's in the book. So we'll check the catch tonight's can. We'll see where we're at if we want to do the hubcap or whatever. And then we'll see where we want to go from there. Tonight's can is actually a little bit rough. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. I just got to figure it out because I've never had one on there. All right. If you want to get your can books out, we are going to go to page 43. So if you guys have your book out to page 43, we're going to look at can number 376, the 1940s era Harley Davidson Court. That's right, Big Job, might have to. Like I said, this is a little rough, but these don't come up very often. These are pretty desirable cans. This one's got the backside's really rough. Made exclusively for air-cooled motorcycles, use in motors and transmissions. The bottom is cut out. It's dented up over here. I mean, the face is still pretty clear and easy to see. But like I said, these don't pop up that often. So I was happy to get this one even in this condition. But can number 376, Harley Davidson Motor Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, black, orange, and white steel from the 40s. Whoa, hold up. Hold up. Coming in from Sean once again. Boom, another one. Boom. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate that. Hopefully next year you guys are going to be able to make it. Hitting us up with another one from Sean. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate that. That's what I've been starting to see, Big Job. So hopefully your son's job is safe. But they got to have him to market the stuff. So, like I said, this was not punched on the top, but the whole bottom was cut out of it. But there again, like I said, they don't pop up very often. So when this one showed up, I didn't have it. I went ahead and grabbed it and added it to the collection. So I'm going to go ahead and check off can 376 in my book on that one. And like I mentioned earlier, the video on the book coming up next week for members, 2 weeks for public, and spend some time with Tom. Obviously, now all the books are spoken for that I have at this point. We can start another list and get another batch rounded up for the next time, or you can order them direct from Tom. I can give you his information. It's in the video as well. But, we can always get a batch of them rounded up again if need be. So anyway, excited for you guys to check that out, learn a little bit more about it, learn some stuff about the book that even I didn't know. And it's pretty cool. You're going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. So better have a Hudson badge. So anyway, this batch spoken for, but we can sure get more. I don't know how many he's got left total, but he said he still had some. So that's what I wanted to squeeze in tonight. The genuine Harley Davidson motorcycle oil can. So, okay, guys. You want to squeeze anything else in, or are we ready to wrap up? Just past 9:30 Central Time. I know it's definitely getting late back east for you guys. Do we want to do the cap and a badge, or what do we want to do? Well, let's go ahead and catch the cap because I've got it laying over here. And then we'll probably call it a night because that'll take a few minutes. We'll be getting a little closer to 10. Tonight's cap is a knockout cap. I've always liked this cap. I've always thought it stood out. I've always thought it was different. It was only used for 1 year. Whoa. I think I just got another ding thing. Yes. Michael Gagola hitting us up with another one on Facebook. Boom. Coming up from Michael Gagola. I got to figure this thing out. because I've never seen this, but hey, it's cool. We'll check it out. We'll figure it out. Oh, and he got another one from Sean. Boom, coming in everywhere. We're not even getting to the cap. We're going to wear out the supercharged badge. Supercharged super chat badge. Boom. I'm going to have to get the other one. I do have two of these. I may wear this one out. We have to get the other one in. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. Thanks, Michael. I really appreciate what you guys do here. I mean, really, one, you don't have to be here. You don't have to spend your time with us. Hey, Big Red with the Auto Trade Journal. We haven't had the Auto Trade Journal out in quite a while. You know, that's something we probably should start working back in. I really need to probably start mixing some stuff up a little bit because we've got so many different cool things we can do. But that's a great idea, Big Red, to get the Auto Trade Journal back out again. But let's catch this cap and then see where we're at for the night. But pulling the Auto Trade Journal out is definitely not a bad idea. Tonight's cap is going to be a full size sombrero. See? Sombrero. But it's not a Cadillac. Cadillac caps are obviously, Cadillac used a lot of caps called sombreros back in the day. This one actually not Cadillac. But I've always thought it was a great looking cap. This particular sombrero is the 1952 Buick. Big, deep dish, big Buick crest right in the middle. This thing is just a massive amount of stainless. There's so much dish flat stainless on here. These typically just get clobbered. This cap still looks really good. There goes the hearts. Awesome. Glad you guys are enjoying it. It is a full-size cap. There's no doubt about it, Jeff. And it's a good-looking cap. You can see on the back how clean this particular one is. We can see where the crest is actually stamped right in the back side of this. The hearts are still going crazy. And yep, it is a big cap. Overall with dimension on this thing is right at 15 inches. I don't think it's NOS. I've seen some things that, you know, if we look like around these edges here, that's why I think it's been used. But, you know, I mean, it could have been taken off years ago, but you see around those edges like that, that's why I think it's been used. It would definitely make a heck of a flying saucer or a sombrero. But there again, it is still in amazing condition for being used. When you've got this much flat area, you know, we got a little dinghy here, some things like that. When you've got this much flat stainless, it's really tough to make these things really pop. So this one, there again, still looks great. I mean, obviously it's a mirror. You can see the monitors, you know, in the cap just off of the reflection. So it definitely stands out. Chip and salsa bowl, absolutely. Multiple different uses for the 1952 Buick hubcap. Yeah, you're right, Sean. It does kind of make you want some chips and salsa now, doesn't it? Huh. Shouldn't have said that. But now you can see, guys can see why I did still want to share the cap with you tonight. It's a beautiful one. It really is. Serving tray for the gathering? Possibility. Why are you guys all talking about food? You're making me hungry. Oh, man. So anyway, there's the cap for tonight. We got the can in. We got the cap in. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and do the badge real quick. Because the badge is epic, too. Time for a third dinner. Let's go ahead and squeeze the badge in. We've got a minute. And it's a cool badge. So I want to share it with you. And I got some amazing badges at the swap meets too. One right there that's super cool. But I've had this badge out for a couple weeks. I want to share it with you. Homemade chocolate chip cookies. That sounds pretty tasty too. Let's see. I mean, we're all used to our Hudson badge, which is a great piece. But this next one is super cool. Used in 1929 on the Hudson Super 6. Look at this thing. This thing's a knockout. All this scroll work. I don't know how well you can make out this detail on it, but all the scroll work all the way around the perimeter of this thing. It does have a little bit of chipping on the U and the P, but man, this thing is just super cool. There's a lot of hearts going again. But according to American Auto Emblems, one of our favorite websites, this was a 29 Super 6, was the only one that used this badge. So apparently, according to American Auto Emblems, 1 year only badge, not one you see very often. And it definitely pops with all that scroll work. The hearts are still rolling. And it's a beauty. Put that right on my cowboy hat. There you go. That front and center right like that. Yeah. So anyway, we got a normal Hudson badge. We got a special Hudson badge tonight to check out. So I definitely wanted to share that one with you guys as well. Oh. And really, the only thing we really didn't do tonight was a sales brochure. So we got a lot done tonight. Appreciate you guys all being here and being part of this and making it what it is. There was one on eBay last week. Okay. All you guys' participation in the auctions, the raffle, and then the super chats tonight have been amazing. Whoa, speaking of super chats, boom, right there with Kevin L. One more sliding in. Michael wants to put shrimp and cocktail sauce in the hubcap. One more supercharged super chat slide in from Kevin L. I appreciate that, Kevin. So we'll figure out these stars on Facebook as well. I appreciate that, Michael. And like I said, the fact that you guys enjoy what we do enough here to throw a few bucks at it and help support it, that's awesome. I definitely appreciate that as well. And glad you're having fun. Don't miss this month's raffle. I mean, that thing is epic. Those don't come up very often. To add a chance at an actual original piece of Tucker history to your collection. Heather's not going anywhere. In fact, we may have to, Austin is coming to the gathering this year. We may have to step up security on Heather. So we'll see how that works out. He tried to steal her once. Pete stopped him, but. So we'll have to keep a close eye on Heather the weekend of the gathering. But anyway, guys, I think we'll go ahead and call it a wrap for tonight. And there again, awesome with all you guys being here and appreciate your support. Yep, wake up, Mary. She's not going anywhere. Heather to replace Janet, that could possibly work as well. So, anyway, guys, Pete volunteers to keep an eye on her. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. Sounds great, Jeff. Let's see. Tuesday, we'll see what happens. That's all I can tell you at this point. Hopefully things start calming down, but I know there's a lot going on. We'll see what happens. I got to get to work on that Impala, some things like that. So we'll see how this week shakes up. We'll try to get something up Tuesday night. But be thinking about what you guys want out of Toy Tuesday. There again, if we go back to 7 o'clock on Sunday, we could definitely squeeze some more of that in and still be done at about the same time or a few minutes earlier. If that's an idea, if you want to just keep doing them when we can do them, whenever we can do them, that's fine too. But, if you want to make a comment on the No Buddies Facebook page, or if we put a survey together, we'll get your guys' input on that and decide what's going to work best for everybody. We will have the regular videos up, of course, this week as usual. And then you bet, Scott, glad you were here. Sign coverage was cool on Toy Tuesdays. I got a lot of signs we haven't looked at yet either. Oh, yeah, and I bought more signs last week. But plus, I got my really cool piece that I really didn't need to buy, but was so epic I had to buy it. Kevin L. agreed it was pretty epic, so it I can't wait to do a video on that as well. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and wind this thing up and see what the week brings and go from there. As always, I appreciate you guys being here. The support and participation is awesome. Can't wait to see a bunch of you guys in basically 2 months. We're basically 2 months out. If you're coming to the gathering, please get with us before we sell out so we can get you on the list. And as always, thanks to all you guys for being here and bringing your friends over and supporting what we do. With that, we'll wrap up. Next Sunday, there's another auction I'm going to try to go to next week. So I think I'll be back on Sunday unless something else pops up. Regardless, I will, if I'm not back next Sunday, I either will try to get on the road or I'll try to make sure everybody knows ahead of time if it's not going to work. So that's kind of what there is definitely an auction I want to try to catch. We just got to see if all the pieces are going to fall into place. So next Sunday night, look for a post on Facebook or on YouTube. Making a post from my phone for some reason is not working right. I can post fine on a PC, but posting a note from my phone has not worked out. So we'll see how things go. We'll see what we can try to make happen. If not, maybe I can throw a short up. I can do a short on my phone, if nothing else, and let you guys know what's going on for next Sunday. So anyhow, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We'll see you hopefully next Sunday if everything comes together, and we'll have some more fun on another Sunday night Gearhead Interactive Live Chat. Thanks for being here, everybody. Have a great week. We will see you soon.